She's a side
I know
chick.
the football players and people that know her, and they will say it
And
is
they don't
all
care.
catfish.
Hey, listen,
the
and
men
they
these women want
appropriate.
come to me and talk to me about it, and just like Brittany Renner, she's a 6. That's why we don't want her. She tried to get with us after the podcast, and we were just like, But I don't blame young women. I think it's a failure of older women who we have indoctrinated our younger women. Okay, do you respect a cartel boss? He makes billions of dollars.
Do you respect a scammer?
But like just because they make a lot of money, does money equal respect?
I was just intrigued.
No, absolutely not. Money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And so a lot of women are selling their bodies and their souls. You have to go to sleep at night. And I'm sorry, you're busting it open. And at some point, like, if money equaled self-respect and respect, there's people who are billionaires that delete themselves. Like, these women have to go to sleep at night. How many women have we seen, Instagram models right now? I want any woman to think, who are the Instagram models busting it open that are getting married, that are men respecting and wifing up?
Give it up for. It's about time we had some women who could actually deliver this message. You know, because when men say it, you're called a misogynist. When men say it, you're punching down. When men say it, you're doing something wrong. It's time, and I said this in a previous video, it's time for the older women to start talking to the younger women, getting it clear, laying it bare, telling them where they made mistakes and where they can fix it. Don't worry about men over here. Because as a matter of fact, I think men are probably tired of talking about some of these issues of women. But Melanie's cooking over here. She's about to go in.
Who are the Instagram models busting it open that are getting married, that are men respecting and wifing up? No, they're getting flown to Dubai to get busted down for a camel and to get defecated in the mouth.
Oh, wow.
So let's just, no. I mean, we're speaking scientific language here, okay? So this is
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
It's fact. There's documentaries. These women are doing this. And like, I don't care how much. I would rather be homeless and destitute than not to be able to sleep at night, knowing the things that I've had to do. Now, there's one thing, if you've been violating, it's against your will. Okay? That's one thing. And there's a lot of women whose minds been warped because things have been done against them against their will. But that's not the majority. A lot of these women have a love of money, and they don't give a damn what it means to anybody, because money is the only thing. They want to buy bags. Are they getting this money because they want to build wells in Africa? Schools? And then they want to, no, they're. And the point is, there is no respect, because you know what you're doing. My daughters see this, that you are against wives. You're against the women who have put in the work to earn a family. You have to earn a family. And so if you are a whore in the street and you're busting it down open on OnlyFans, you are the enemy of women who are traditional. And I'm sorry, there is no love in just like you have no love for me, because you're going to bust it open for my man. And if $1 is going to pull you in, that's all you're worth is money. You have no intrinsic value. You have no morality. You don't believe in anything but what you can buy Gucci and whatever. Like, I'm sorry, there is no respect for that. And I don't mean it in a way to understand women make decisions where they are, but at the same time, somebody has to stand up for Savannah James, LeBron James' wife. When she was on that run on the Oscars, you know.
Shout out to Savannah James, looking gorgeous, beautiful, a perfect example for young ladies to model themselves after. Beautiful, represents her husband well. Same event, Ciara was there, butt naked. How is that a representation of her husband?
Sure, you know, she had 2 children out of wedlock with LeBron James as a teenager, her sons, but she made a different decision not to go. You know, she stuck with the man, and she made a different decision. Like, there are, like, who stands up for women who are trying to do it right? And right now, I feel like the dominant voice in culture right now is women who are whores. You know, don't judge me. Yes, ho, I'm judging you. So, and I don't care. Like, if you're opening your box for the street, like, take everything that comes with it. Don't demand respect when you don't respect women. You will entice that woman's husband, and you don't give a good goddamn what happens to that family and what happens to them. But then you demand women to say, respect all this and other. Do you respect the wives that have to deal with the BS that you're doing, and then like just accept being bottom of the barrel.
Not only do they not respect the wives, but then they call the wives pick me.
Right, exactly. They don't respect the wives,
yeah.
but they want all this respect. But a woman who wants to be a wife, a housewife, that wants to be submissive, they want to holler. They talk about Kevin Samuels.
They shame those women.
They're excited Kevin Samuels when he dies. Now they're excited because they discovered the stuff he talked about with men and how he could try to get men together. And I spoke about it because he was a personal friend of mine. But you don't respect us, but then you want all this respect, but your is open for consumption. Like, no, you don't respect a wife. You be ready to be a side chick. You will take that man's money. You will steal him from his wife. You will do whatever it takes to get $1. And because your mind is degraded and your mind is gone and your mind has been snatched into hell, you're Middle Earth.
And what's so crazy is that we have a culture today that supports that. Like I was just down in Atlanta not too long ago, and there's a restaurant down there. I'm not going to name it because they don't sponsor me. But they got this new sandwich called the Side Chick.
Oh, no.
And they got Brittany Renner that will come in. She'll come through, and she advertises because she's a side chick.
I know the football players and people that know her, and they will say it
and
is
they don't
all
care.
Catfish.
Hey,
like,
listen, and they appropriate.
Come to me and talk to me about it. And just like Brittany Renner, she's a 6. That's why we don't want her. She tried to get with us after the podcast, and we were just like,
shots fired.
Yes, you know who I'm talking about, too. You know. If I mention it, I will never. But you know who I'm talking about. And all these women,
I do actually.
They would go ham if they knew who it was. And he was like, nah, you a 6 chick. I'm like, you got a mouth and you for the streets, I'm done.
Listen, but the culture supports it, right? So like mainstream media is giving her money to promote her being a side chick.
Crystals
like,
in the U.S.
No, we don't talk about them.
Fast food restaurant.
No advertisements.
It's crazy though. If a girl gets married at 19, they'll say she's making a terrible decision and she's too young.
But she was a whore at 45, like Bernice Burgos is a grandmother and still out there like, look at my booty. Oh, I'm that like, if you that fine, why don't you have a husband yet? Like, why are you?
Wow. If you're that fine, why don't you have a husband yet? It's a good question. We can ask a lot of these older Instagram influencers that aren't married, that are leading women down a certain path. How many women have gone to get a BBL because they saw how maybe Bernice looked or how Brittany looked and decided that that was the beauty standard? That social pressure that was put on them. Where are the positive examples to counterbalance this? These are the leaders of the culture. In fact, you got other celebrities, shout out to Chloe Bailey, feeling like she's got to catch up with the Instagram chicks. She's got to do things more provocatively to be relevant. We're in the wrong place right now.
You this fine. You're
She's
so
unwipeable.
special. You're so special. But look at these old hoes. They're sitting up and they're still trying to get money. Like they are grandmothers now, busting it open for a check. You have to understand, men, it's not that you are.
And that's right. Bernice does have a grandchild.
Are less valuable as a human being. But if you are putting yourself in a position, men do not respect you as a wife. No man of value wants to bring a known hoe and this is my wife. And you're around his boys and he's proud of you and presenting you. No, you in the back room. He'll date you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a known hoe and it's like, okay, we all skeeted and skirted in this. So it's my turn. So she was never yours. It was just your turn. And so a lot of women, I say this not to degrade a woman, but to understand, women do not understand how men think. They do not respect you, and you are doing this, and you think you're earning something, and you're a bad bee because you make all this money. You're going to die on that hill with all your money by yourself. Look at what Cher got to do right now, and I'm not putting Cher down because she, saying she did her thing, but she stole. It's actually more Cher's value. She stole Amber Rose's man. She is in her 70s and she stole a woman in her 30s man. And do you know the embarrassment? And she got a forehead tattoo for that man. And Cher, a woman 40 something years older than her, snatched her man.
Go Cher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Girl, bye. like if it's that much.
Yeah, I think his share is 76 right now. Still out here. I mentioned that in the Amber Rose video that I covered before. But she got a point. She got a point. This man was, you know, of course, his motives could be what they are, but he was willing to deal with a woman from another era and is happy, it seems. Things are working out way better than with Amber. Interesting.
Why is Brittany Renner not wifed up? Why is Amber Rose not wifed up? Look at it, the old Hollywood stars who are not wifed up. They're beautiful women.
So many bad ones. You like, what's going on here, man? Like, what's wrong? What's really wrong?
In the media running their mouth.
Yeah. Not only that, but they're hoes.
And that's the number one.
Look at Christina Milian. She's a wife now. All these other women, there are examples. Been married, though. Right. Like there's women who've had things and they made different decisions.
But to your point, right, where are the wives in media? That's not what's highlighted. What's highlighted is the Brittany Reners, are the people who are selling this lifestyle, and these Gen Z babies are eating it up. They think that that's what men want. That's what it's an illusion.
They
for
don't
sure.
love y'all.
But that's why, because we aren't being taught.
Sorry.
We have no representatives in media to help pass it down.
I'm curious.
We loved Jada Pinkett for a while.
Did any of you ever as a kid did any of you ever as a kid want to grow up?
You didn't say that.
Wait. Did any of you ever as a kid grow up and want to be a housewife?
No.
Yes.
Really? You did?
Yes.
Like, even till now, I'd want to do like be a housewife, but like maybe work like 2 days from home or something like that.
I was going to say yes, and then she had an extra. Just say yes. There's housewife. She didn't say housewife.
But how many were raised? You might want to be a housewife. Were you raised to be a housewife? Like I grew up in Southern Baptist, and submission, like a lot of women think it's dirty. I'm like, this is standard model. That's like asking for doors and windows on a car.
Do you feel like you were raised to be a housewife?
Not like with my dad and things like that, as in I saw that growing up. But my mum like taught me how to cook, to clean and things like that. So that's what I'm comfortable doing. And then as you get older and you realise you do have to work and you're used to it, you think, I would want to bring something to the table as well, like working and intelligence and things like that, but also still want to.
But you're housewives for the CEO of your corporation and the company. A lot of women say, I don't want to be a domestic slave. I want to have my own money. That CEO, that's your daddy. That's your sugar daddy. That's who you shaking it for. Yes, sir.
He's paying your
ma'am.
wage.
He's paying everything for you, and you think that's freedom. When this man don't like if they have to make cuts in the company, you're out. They don't care about you. There's nothing about you. You're not valuable, and you have to compete, and it is tiresome, and you're exhausted. Your kids suffer. Your kids are buck wild. Like, I don't think people see the consequences, but I don't blame young women. I think it's a failure of older women who we have indoctrinated our younger women. You know, Maggie and I, like, I'm 41, and Maggie's an older woman. And
really? I do. I blame us. I blame
older women too,
I think it's our own damn fault.
We're the one we didn't set I personally did. My mother did, and the women in my family have. But I know in large, we have failed these younger women, and we've let them just run the streets, and we have not checked our daughters. Let me catch my daughter. My mother today, if I post a picture at my age, my mother is 74. I am 41. Let me post a picture where the dress is a little too much short. My mother would text me and say, you look slutty. And I feel shame and embarrassment, and I feel like I failed my family. I think
what happened to shame? Like, we haven't had a culture that acknowledges shame in years. It's like Shameless, like that show, you know, like it's just no repercussions. You know, people are just wilding out and don't have a barometer for what is right and what is wrong. There's no gray area. There's no judgment anymore. There needs to bring back some form of judgment because things are out of whack.
It's a failure of the family structure. My father, he doesn't even have to say anything. Him and I won't talk for days. He's my best friend. And I said, Dad, like, he's just like, Mel, like your mother told you what, like, you, like, and I
notice she's got a relationship with her father. Important fact.
I think a lot of women have not had the love of a family of men to tell them the truth. And that's why they hated Kevin Samuels, because he was a fatherly figure that told them the truth. and they didn't want to hear it. Like you're average hoe. Like, and you have hoe activity. And if you want to get better, you have to do better. But the rebellion, no one's ever been in your life to discipline you. So it's like, who are you to tell me what to do? Because you never had to discipline. You can't even believe someone would tell you the truth about you. But there was a love for you, and he wanted you to grow. But that's why they celebrated his death, because now we're free to be hoeing, and nobody's going to hold us accountable.
Wow. She told you the truth right there. That's what Kevin was trying to do, was tell you the truth. Women are not used to hearing what Kevin Samuels had to say. That's why they were fighting so hard against him. They were fighting so hard against him because they had never seen a positive, strong, fatherly black man presence in their lives. And so they fought against it tooth and nail. They celebrated his death. Yeah, all these things that we've been seeing, and since he's passing, you know, people tried to relax and go back to the way, nah. The cat's out of the bag now. The cat's out of the bag. We got Melanie here. Melanie, I think it's perfect timing for her, because there needs to be women stepping up in her age category, not out here to compete with the younger women, but out here to instruct them, out here to tell them the way to go, tell them where they messed up in life. Men have that. We have mentors. We have OGs. But for too long, there hasn't been a female equivalent, and we've seen things go completely out of whack. Give it up for Melanie King. Yeah, it's about time, man. It's about time somebody said these things. They've needed to be said for a long time, and you didn't want to hear them from Kevin Samuels, so now you got to hear them from the people that Kevin influenced, because that's what's happening here. There's been an effect, a ripple effect, if you will. I like the point she said about you'll do everything for your boss, but what will you do for your man? Your boss, if he has a cutback, he's not going to have any sympathy for you. He got to reach the bottom line. It's not about you. So all these people focus on career, all these women focus on career and not wanting to shake the boat at work, but then come home and take it out on your husband and your children, screaming at them all the time. Yeah. That's an issue. So, yeah, I like what she was talking about. Can't even wash themselves properly, but busting it open on OnlyFans. Embarrassing. Highly embarrassing. But I think it's time to really have these discussions. And like I said, you know, you didn't want to hear it from a man for whatever reason. But now it's time for the women to step up. Where are the women 40 and above who are going to tell these young women what the truth is? Who are going to tell these women, the bumpy road that I went down, you do not have to go down that road. I was at Freaknik freaking off. You don't have to go to 2023 Freaknik. I was out here busting it open as a stripper. You know what? That wasn't a good life plan, because what is your exit? Flying all around the world, going to Dubai to be a human porta potty, huh? For money. It's degrading. We shouldn't have common knowledge of it. It shouldn't be that common that we all know that that's what happens when some of these OF chicks go to Dubai. That is the service and it's insulting in a way. It's insulting. If my daughter was to go and take this up as a craft and come back with a whole bunch of money, the shame that she had still cannot be washed off. It can't. It's too dark of a place. It's too far gone. And you know, there's assortments of other things. That's just one of the most extreme and in our face examples, but this is happening every day. What are these women doing when they're flying out with these basketball players all over the place. These actors. Oh, I know because I'm an actor. I've heard the stories. These comedians, these news personalities, because look at what's his name at the at the Today Show. That one guy, he was wilding. Boy was wilding. Instead of being angry at the men on YouTube or the men with podcasts who are bringing these topics up, we would benefit so much if mature women that have been through some things spoke freely on these topics and gave guidance to these young women. You know, because I talked about it in the other video. We see the reason for that. Because why are you going to tell somebody what to do to correct their actions if you're competing with them? If they're your if they're the opposition? And that's what it's come down to. We need to stop having women being selfish and giving it up like Melanie. And another thing, furthermore, all you guys that are out here, I got to take a second and pull your coat. A lot of y'all have been giving Melanie a hard time online. That's going to stop. You got to allow people the chance to evolve. You got to allow people to come into their voice, into what they're really supposed to be talking about without your interference, without your hate for seeing how well they're performing and thinking that you're somehow missing out. You're not missing out on nothing. I guarantee you the people that subscribe to her wouldn't give a damn about your channel or about your content. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's out here trying to do something. Now, I don't even know exactly what it is she's going to end up doing. She talks to men, yes, male audience. But that doesn't mean she's wrong automatically. That doesn't mean she's some kind of charlatan. She's got to find what her forward thrust is. And it might be just talking to these young women. It might be putting it out there for them. Now, they're resistant to it. And of course, men were the ones first attracted to the platform, but there will be a time where all this is going to flip in reverse. All the OnlyFans models that are being held up and highly regarded by women now, we're going to shift to the wives and former wives that actually have the knowledge to lead them and rebuild this thing and get us away from all this madness that we have out here now. It's time we make some different decisions, right? That's it. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.